back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Hello, gentlemen.
How the hell are you tonight?
Not bad.
Right.
Not bad.
How's August treating you so far?
Pretty good.
Nice. We are entering the dog days of summer.
To me, it still feels like July, but
it is very similar right now.
yes.
To July. I got to tell you that. Only 3 days in, so. But in any event, these are the dog days of summer, and so to celebrate the dog days of summer, we're going to do our fun show tonight.
Well, they're all fun.
You know what?
They're all fun. Our non-topical discussions and quizzes and lists and contests and stuff.
I have to say about August, it's of course just the pessimist in me, but oh yeah, black shirt was a good choice.
There you go. He's like a floating head with a red string coming down.
August for me is like, again, this is the pessimist to me. So that's it. Summer is ending.
Right.
Like we still have,
all of August and half of September.
Yeah, but
summer's technically not even half over yet.
I know.
Summer just began.
I know, but like my oldest is going back to school in 3 weeks. My youngest is going back, whatever after Labor Day. Yeah, what's the date of Labor Day this month? This year?
It's in September. I know that.
Yeah. So I shouldn't feel like
Labor Day is September 5th this year.
All right, so that's good at least because they don't go back till after that.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like the 7th or the 8th or something like that.
Right. I think they usually go back that Wednesday or whatever. But if it's on, like the 2nd or 3rd or something, I don't know. I shouldn't feel like summer is winding down, but I do. I can't help it. Yeah. I'm like, damn, it's August already.
I know.
But that's my problem.
I really feel like we should cue the music to the soundtrack to Grease. You can sing both the John Travolta and Andy parts.
There you go.
Well,
summer loving.
I have made out. I have made out with myself under the dock once or twice.
I'm sure you have. Yeah. That's because you got stuck under there.
That was 3 weeks ago on OnlyFans,
and that was a different kind of dock.
It was.
What was the doc's name? Was he
Doc Severinsen?
Doc Proc.
Hey, Doc. How are you? Can I make out under you?
What's up, Doc? Not you.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Not until you're done.
All righty. 3 minutes in, and we got an opener. Yeah.
That's why it's the fun show.
That's funny. 3. There we go. Doc. Perfect. Saved. All right. Written. All right. So should we jump right into this fun? Actually, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have a beer tonight. I feel like having a beer.
For a change.
For a change. Well, I didn't have one on last week's show. I was drinking water on last week's show.
I feel like this is a self.
Are you having
having
a Pennsylvania beer?
No, I'm actually having a New Jersey beer, but it's from Brick City Brewing. It's called Mild in the Morning. It's a 3% English mild, so it's a light beer. It's a beer. It's a darker beer, but it's only 3%. That's what's good about it. I'm pouring it into another New Jersey brewery glass, but it's from down in Sherry Hill. It would be Mechanical Brewing. I'm using their glass. So as we patiently wait for me to actually finish the pour, there's the beer right there. It's only 3%.
A professional would have it poured prior to the broadcast.
Well, no, I like pouring it on the show.
You don't get the good head if you pour it.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, back to Doc and the Docs and.
There you go. So, cheers, gentlemen. Cheers on this fine August Wednesday.
Cheers. I'm drinking Diet Mountain Dew.
Oof. Sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, there goes our Mountain Dew sponsorship.
At least for that diet crap. Regular Mountain Dew is awesome.
Regular Mountain Dew.
Regular Mountain Dew, you actually feel your teeth falling out as you're drinking it.
Yes, well, at least softening.
Right. Yeah. The bone. The bones in your mouth start to melt.
I'll let you guys in on a little. It's not really a secret, but I'm drinking this because it has no sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you might have known, I have a little bit of a weight problem, which you can't see in the black shirt.
No, you look very svelte.
The magic of black.
The magic of invisibility.
My tits have never looked better.
You're wearing a man's ear?
No, just the black shirt, I think.
Okay.
So I'm actually in.
He's wearing a man's ear, reading his coffee table book.
The black shirt.
I'm actually
diet.
in week 3 of the keto diet.
Oh, okay.
Keto.
So
that's where you eat a lot of protein, right?
It's where you eat like a moving elk, but no grains and no sugar.
No potatoes, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no carbs, or very little carbs.
It forces your body into like liver failure or something, right? But
well, the liver manufactures ketones,
yes,
which will burn fat. So I'll be burning fat to create the energy I need to live instead of starches and stuff like that. So so no sugar.
So Diet Mountain Dew is a keto approved drink.
Yes, it has no carbs. It has no sugar.
It does have battery acid, though.
Yeah,
that's
but that helped. Yeah, it's
no
a really weird experience because they're like, you can eat a steak and you can have butter on just about anything. So
it's a high fat, high protein.
It's high fat, high protein. Right. You have to keep your carb levels low because if you eat too many carbs, then it'll kick your body out of ketosis. So like one screw up, if I eat a bagel, then I could get kicked out of ketosis. And then it takes a number of days to get back in. So I'm being very careful about it. But it's like you can eat eggs. Like I had eggs and bacon for breakfast this morning. I've been eating bacon.
Obviously not a diet approved by the Cardiology Association of America.
No, well, I tell you, I'm using a supplement for most of my meals.
For most of your bacon.
A
bacon supplement.
So
it has all the saturated fat, but none of the calories.
Yeah, but none of the cholesterol. It's an amazing product.
That's right.
So I'm using like a powder.
And it's called different bacon.
It's called Baconut.
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 So, but here's the good news.
What's the good news?
Down 12 pounds.
Good for you. Congratulations.
That's great. Cheers on
that. And I had a few days last week of what they call the keto flu, which is
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, well, it's as your metabolism changes, a lot of people go through various periods of time of headaches and fatigue and no mucus as with a flu, but you feel that same kind of malaise and all that. So I had about 3 days of that where I felt pretty crappy.
You just laid down and ate bacon and eggs.
I was just eating a lot of bacon and eggs, but I really like
feel better.
Okay.
Now I feel better. Yeah, that's it. It's a lot of comfort food. It's like, here, eat this steak, and
feel like shit for 3 days. But after your body goes to ketosis, you will do better.
Yes, and I do feel better now. So, but it's
awesome.
hard because, I don't eat a lot of food, which is not something I'm used to. And I'm not looking to there's keto-friendly pasta and keto-friendly bagels, and which I might check out the bagel thing because I like that. Sunday breakfast is bacon and eggs, and
Gotcha.
I like to add a bagel to that, but I'm not really into buying a lot of keto-friendly regular food. I'd rather just kind of drink my 2 shakes a day, this is the weird part. you mix this powder with, I use heavy cream, and I do a half and half heavy cream, and there's an oil mixture I found. I know, it's insane.
Heavy cream and lard.
Heavy
Keto diet brought to you by the Meat and Dairy Association of the United
And then
States.
there's a nice oil mix I found. It's avocado
Just
oil.
Straight olive oil.
It's insane. And I'm like measuring tablespoons. It's like,
That's right.
4 tablespoons of cream and 2
A little
tablespoons
warm,
of
unrefined
oil.
coconut oil on your nipples, and then you
Shake it. Well, yeah, that's. Then there's the suppository
That's right.
diet, but that's a whole different.
That's the goat cheese.
You need one of those.
suppository.
You need one of those bar pourers to get the oil in there.
That's right.
But it's
Yeah,
insane.
the old flexible spatula.
Yeah.
It's got to work in 2 directions.
And then you add some water because it's
That's
a big.
right.
It's a big thing.
That's
Actually,
right.
I think I was drinking one last week. That big shaker bottle.
Right.
But here's the funny part, or one of the funny things. So my wife, because you put in a couple ounces of cream, 4 tablespoons, and then 2 tablespoons of this oil mix, and then the powder, and then a couple cups of water. I told her I was just using heavy cream. She thought it's like a 22-ounce thing. She thought it was all heavy cream. She's like, there's no way that you can lose weight doing that. I was like, what are you
I gained 9 pounds today, and I spent the entire day on the toilet.
Yeah. But then when I told her, I was like, no, it's just a couple ounces of cream. And then she was like, oh, okay. She was like, I'm against this. Those were her words. I'm against this diet. But so far it's working. So
how long are you doing it for?
160 pounds worth.
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes. It's going to be months. It's going to be months.
Gotcha. So on that note, I was going to tell you, in September, they're doing another bobblehead day at City Field. I thought that might have been a good time for us to go have a couple of the food items that we wanted to have in and around City Field. But you being on the keto diet now, probably not such a good idea.
I can research them. I can probably, depending on the sauce factor, is a big part of it.
He could have 12 of the bratwurst, but none of the bun.
Yeah, exactly. Or I could have get some pulled pork, remove the bun.
Pulled pork, mix in some half and half.
Yeah, I'll bring a quart of half and half in. I'm sure that'll be acceptable.
Big bottle of olive oil.
95 degrees out, you're just swinging heavy cream.
Like what is it? Will Ferrell and Anchorman drinking the milk.
Melted stick of butter.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk is a bad choice on such a hot day. But it's a very interesting.
This milk tastes awful lemony.
It's a very interesting,
it's kind
very
of
interesting diet, but it's good, especially for. It's very good for diabetics.
Good.
Since I am a type 2 and I'm now ingesting virtually no sugar.
Good.
And carbohydrates, so I don't have to my insulin. And it's not zero. The goal is not zero. You can have some carbs, but
healthy carbs, not processed food.
Yeah, it just they less than 50 they say, but ideally 10 to 20. So I mean, I don't
10 to 20 grams.
Grams, yeah.
Wow, that's like
that's not much. That's not much. But I don't like. Are
you eating any vegetables? Is that allowed?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I eat actually I eat tomatoes almost every day.
That's a fruit.
Close enough. Oh, and here's a really good one.
It's a veggie fruit.
Blue cheese.
A fruit.
Blue cheese is keto friendly,
especially if you use the spatula.
Yeah.
And the funnel.
So
that's for the dressing though. You don't want the blue cheese there. So.
Yeah, no.
If you leave your milk out in the sun long enough, it all turns to blue cheese.
Yeah, it kind of becomes chunky in its own right.
Well, that's why you start with the heavy cream. It's quicker.
Right. But yeah, it's very interesting to find out like what things are good to eat that you would like. It sort of goes against every other kind of diet, right? Don't eat that; it's high in fat. Don't eat that; it's eat an apple; it's healthy. No, it has 20 grams of carbs in it, so don't eat an apple.
The only thing I have read is that long term, putting your body into ketosis for too long term could have negative effects on your liver functions.
Yeah.
So you do have to kind of, and then working your way back in out of ketosis, I guess it would be, is also can be
that
difficult.
I figure is going to be really.
That's just going to be 4 hot dogs at Citi Field with some, a stretcher and a paramedic.
I'm sure there's going to be a period where I'll like eat some of the things that I haven't really been able to eat, but I don't know. I guess if you have a healthy diet plan and an exercise plan,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And you can it's kind of good in a way because you're going from nothing into a more healthy lifestyle with carbs and stuff, rather than I'm already eating a bunch of junk, I have to cut all that out. It's going to be
the big part of it is you're cutting out there's still going to be a big chunk of things that you should not eat. Mostly sugar. Sugar's horrible for us. Anything with sugar.
But I think it'll be easier going from 0 sugar
absolutely
to a moderate or certainly no added amount of sugar, rather than the amount of sugar that I was eating prior to this, and then cutting. It's so hard to cut it down. Like I like that I don't have to think about food.
Right. There you
go. The less choices I have to make, the less opportunities for me to make bad choices. So I drink my little shakes, and then I, eat some meat and some tomatoes, or we have peppers and broccoli or whatever. I eat that portion of dinner. I just skip the potatoes, skip the rice. I had, we got Japanese food. I had a few pieces of sashimi, which is not my favorite thing in the world. And I had some miso soup, because it was, rather than, I'll have a couple pieces of sushi. No rice, no nothing. It's easier for me to completely resist than to have to make, like those
moderation
little
choices.
Yeah, those sort of things where like we want you to eat 6 times a day, small little forget it. Fail.
Yeah.
But
just once a day, grab a cow's udder, squirt it in.
Yeah, there you go. But have a shake in the morning and a shake in the evening, and then a little extra protein here or there. That's a lot easier for me. So
when I was younger, I used to have a shake in the morning and a shake in the evening. Now it's maybe once a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, once a day. That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
I'd take that.
Kudos. There you go. Mazel tov.
So I'll thank you. I'll keep you updated as to my
please
progress.
Do. Definitely. All right.
Not doing any modeling for a while though.
No.
You never know.
I may take some pictures. I want to get a shirt that's just too small for me right now, and take a few pictures, every week or whatever, and then unveil them.
What you do, see, that's the other thing you could do. You don't have to go on a diet at all. Just get a whole bunch of range of different shirts and just put the tight one on, take a picture. The next week, put the next one up, and just eventually look, wow, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, get like some
7XL suits.
Yeah, like some middle school kid shirts.
Yeah, and then some 7XL suits. And
if I just go with a white T-shirt, I could have they make them for infants now, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you're not going to get that anywhere. You're not even going to get that over your head.
No, but I don't have to. But I could go like little kid size, little kid sizes to start.
Yeah.
I think you might just start with a large.
Yeah, a large would be.
There you
go. They have the
medium.
You know what they call the smedium, right?
Smedium.
It's a medium that's a little too small for you. So, well, I'm like the king of the smlarge.
Smlarge.
Yeah, smlarge.
Or the smalarge. Yeah.
Or the extra large. Or the
Slex.
Triple extra large.
Slex. Double Slex.
Yeah, they're all form fitting on me.
That works. Yeah. All righty.
Well, good luck.
Well, good luck with it. Keep us posted every week, and we want to know. All right. Why don't we let's do the just a quickie.
All right.
Let's do the just a quickie. All right. A couple weeks ago, I said the opposite of this. So this week we'll let Pete go first. Tonight's just a quickie in baseball. Is the MLB team that finishes with the best record in the American League this year will be the.
Say this again.
I'll take the D off. The Major League Baseball team, the MLB team that finishes with the best record in the American League this year will be.
Well, I'm going to be contrarian, of course, because it makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Houston Astros.
All right.
Which isn't a super stretch, but.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Harry, same question.
Well, yeah, it's either going to be the Astros or the Yankees, but I'll say the Yankees to try to maybe be positive about them as they continue to lose close games.
All right. Pete, back to you. The Major League Baseball team that finishes with the best record in the National League this year will be?
Well, I'm just going to go chalk here and say the Dodgers.
All right.
Sorry, Mets. Remember, I predicted you to fade.
You did. Harry, same question.
DeGrom coming back. Scherzer pitching as good as he could. It's going to be the New York Mets. They're gonna outlast the Dodgers.
All right. Pete going out of town, going to Texas and California. Harry in Colorado, both New York teams.
Nice.
There you go. All right. Fair enough.
And the Mets will play the Astros in the World
And
Series.
the Mets will play the Astros in the World Series.
And beat them.
And bring their own can.
And Pete will be there with his half and half.
Drinking on the side.
And his shirt off. He'll weigh 220 by then.
There you go. All right. All right. Good one. Good. Just a quickie. All right. Sticking with the baseball theme. It's time for tonight's quiz.
Oh, boy.
Tonight's quiz. The quiz. Tonight's quiz. Here we go. The quiz. Write these down. Tonight we're doing we're going global.
Global, huh?
Global. Well, not global, but global talk about Major League Baseball. Top Major League Baseball players, just in general, from 2000 through today. Top Major League Baseball players from 2000 through today.
Oh, boy.
I'm giving you 6, 4 got to stay, 2 got to go. Write these down. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera. Ichiro Suzuki. Albert Pujols. Mike Trout. Carlos Beltran. And David Ortiz. Once again, Miggy Cabrera, Ichiro, Albert Pujols, Mike Trout.
Got a bunch of chunkies and Ichiro.
Carlos Beltran and Big Papi. All right, Pete, kick us off. Who are you keeping?
All right. Beltran's gone. Miggy's just too much fun and too good. Ichiro, one of the few Yankees I ever liked. It would be interesting to see his entire career in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been something. I'll get rid of Pujols. So
Right.
Cabrera, Ichiro, Trout, and Big Papi.
All righty. Harry?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I want to keep Ichiro on here, but Pujols 2-time World Series champion. Miggy won one, right? Ortiz, I got to keep on here. But Beltran's gone. It's really, and I can't take Miggy, Pujols, or Trout off here. So it's got to be I love Ichiro, and he's an incredible talent. But I think the other guys had a bigger impact on their teams in Major League Baseball. And to Pete's point, if Ichiro had played here his whole career, I think that would have been different. I also think where Ichiro played here and the time in which he played here, I think was unfortunate. I don't think he was ever able to really take part on a great team. Yeah, the Seattle teams are okay, but I don't know. I really like Ichiro. He still had over 3,000 hits. Mm-hmm. They all, I mean, too.
I'm kind of semi including his career in Japan too. I mean, not adding those numbers in, but it wasn't like he was a piker over there, and then he came here and had way more success. He's just a fucking great player, no matter where he plays.
It's
hard. It's hard.
Let me rethink this. Trout. Well, I mean, Miggy will be done this year. Pujols will be done this year. The rest of them are all, and Trout's the only really player with a future, hopefully. I'm gonna right now. I'm gonna take Beltran and Trout off this list, and I'm gonna use a caveat saying that if this list was to come up again 5 years from now when Trout's career is over, I might change my mind. But Ichiro's numbers were staggering, considering how old was he when he got to America?
He played 6 or 7 years over in Japan before.
I mean, he was like 30, right?
Almost 30, yeah.
Almost 30. So he was a little younger than I thought. Okay, but he played into his 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still, somebody starting at the age of 29 and having over 3,000 hits in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of unheard of. I think his number, I don't think people realize what his numbers were. Again, he was a superstar who never moved around too much and was never, had he came to the Yankees earlier, St. Louis or somebody where he was able to win a couple championships, I think it would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put Ichiro on there just because his career is just staggering. I'm going to leave Trout off, but I'm kind of avoiding a hard decision here.
Got it. Right.
Yeah, that was actually would have been my other choice, believe it or not. But I get Pujols. Fuck that guy.
So
Pujols is really all of these guys, with the exception of Big Papi. I would say Big Papi maybe is remembered. I think his postseason overcomes some of his great but not staggering regular season stats. I mean, Big Papi was just but I mean, if you look at Miguel Cabrera, Ichiro, Pujols, even Beltran, I mean, their regular season numbers their career numbers are just staggering. Yeah. I don't think Cabrera and Pujols get enough credit. I really don't. And again, they don't jump out to me all the time when I'm thinking about the all-time greats in baseball, but they were pretty groundbreaking.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, for me, Cabrera more so than Pujols, but that's because
why.
Pool.
Yeah, okay. I thought there was some irrational reason. I just wanted to know what it was.
Yes. Please, I can't use all logic.
I was expecting, Cabrera's on base percentage is just higher, and no. Had a couple that just
St. Louis, and Miggy's more fun.
Is he? Yeah, I like Pujols. I never liked Cabrera probably because of what he did to the Yankees, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, you mentioned Big Papi, known for postseason or whatever, but he's one of 4 players ever to hit 500 home runs and win 3 World Series.
And he's the only player on this list to test positive for steroids.
There you go. And can you name the other 3 though
that are on this list?
500.
No.
That's
500
positive for steroids.
No steroids. Hit 500 home runs and won 3 World Series. Can you name the other 3 people?
500 home runs and won 3 World Series.
Nellie Fox.
Nope. Okay. And it wasn't Archie Vaughn either.
Babe Ruth.
Ding, ding, ding. One of them.
Babe Ruth. Did Bonds win? No.
Nope.
Is it Did Manny win 3? Manny Ramirez?
Mm-hmm. Nope. You got one. You got Babe Ruth. George Herman to his family.
Willie Mays didn't win 3 World Series, did he?
Nope.
Frank Robinson won 2, maybe?
Wasn't
Did he
him.
hit? He didn't hit 500 home runs, did he?
I don't believe so, but it wasn't him, and it was not him.
Was one of them?
Another Yankee. It's got to be another Yankee.
Maybe.
Mantle.
Mickey Mantle is 2.
Was one of them a Pittsburgh Pirate?
No.
DiMaggio.
Nope.
The other one is the Yankee also?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe not.
You
You got Ruth and Mantle so far. There's one more.
Ruth Mantle.
One more. Can you do it? Can you get it? Teamwork. You got the 2 together. One got one got together. Who could
it's got to be an older player.
maybe.
Well,
Older, it depends on where you
not with one. Oh, it's Jackson. Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. Very good. There you go.
I was thinking he only won 2 with the Yankees, and I forgot he won 3 with Oakland, right?
He won 2 with Oakland. Right?
Okay.
Or did he win?
No,
he won 3. Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be Reggie Jackson. So there you go. 1 of 4 players. So the 4 players to hit 500 home runs plus and win 3 World Series plus is Big Papi and 3 Yankees. There you go. One of which obviously the A's helped. But anyway. Cool. There you go. All right. Good quiz tonight. Good thought-provoking quiz. I thought that was good.
Yeah,
right,
that was a good one.
All right.
Oh wait, who do you get rid of?
Me?
Yeah.
I keep Miggy, I keep Ichiro, I keep Pujols, and I keep Big Papi.
Yeah.
So Beltran and Trout.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Mike.
There's rumors that this Trout injury is more serious than what they're leading on to. I hope that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His back thing that he's
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, time will tell. Figure it out.
Have you ever seen these videos that have been popping up on social media of Ichiro like just screwing around before games where like they line up like 4 bats like 150 feet away, and he's like hitting them with a baseball from like the outfield?
Yeah.
Or like he was something else. I wish he would have. He came to the Yankees too late, but I wish they would have won a World Series with him there. That would have been good.
That would have been nice for him. That definitely would have been nice for him. But
that's good company, man. Reggie, Mickey Mantle, and Babe Ruth.
I did want to mention this too. While we were on the Yankees, in Yankee history, there have been most home runs through 100 games. There have been 4 different players to hit the most home runs through 100 games. Take a shot at the 4.
Judge, Maris, Ruth, and Mantle.
Very good. Very good. Babe Ruth hit 41 home runs through 100 games twice in 1921 and in 1928. Roger Maris did it in 1961 with 40 home runs. Mickey Mantle did it in 1961 with 39 home runs. And Aaron Judge did it this year with 37. So there you go. Those are the top 4 in Yankee history. So there you go. All right. There's everything else. Let's move on to football. We got some football some football quizzes.
Football quizzes.
Football. We're going to go back to baseball. We're going to do football first. We're going to do football first. We got a new thing. We're going to call it a rapid fire quiz.
Okay. Most disappointing Giants of all time.
Yeah. Most disappointing Giants of all time. No, that's 2 weeks from now's top 10 list.
I'm gonna give you 10, 12. Gotta go.
You can add the two of your choice.
Start the airing of the grievances.
Exactly, because there are no feats of strength with that team. So anyway, all right. So yes, a rapid fire quiz. So it's in the categories of the NFL this week, and I'm going to call it 5 sports and 1 other question. So you get 6 questions each, different questions for both of you. Who wants to? I guess we'll let Pete go first because Pete always, in most of these quizzes goes first.
Yeah, so we do it alphabetically.
We do it alphabetically. Yeah. Pete comes before Harry, so we do it reverse alphabetically. We look at it backwards. So there you go. All right, so let's start.
I didn't say the English alphabet.
Yeah, the Chinese alphabet. RadioPete comes first.
Yeah, that comes before Aaron in the Chinese alphabet.
That's right. Aaron doesn't. It's Aaron.
Aaron.
That's right.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna start the music. We're gonna write music for a lot of these sections, and we got to we got to work on that. But we're gonna use.
Yeah, I gotta get the boy. I got about 3 weeks to get him to.
Yeah, we got to do
some music. We have a bunch of themes we got to get.
We got a bunch of themes we got to get to, and he's got to do this year's Jets theme too. So
I know. I'll get you some new music to use.
There you go. We got some new music. So there you go. All right. So let's start this music. There you go. I'll just put it in the background, just so it's rapid fire quiz. All right. I'm gonna actually get a piece of paper so I can write your answers.
Is that music or the results of Pete's keto diet?
It's a little bit of both, actually. Okay, let's just write this down. There we go.
Now, we don't write anything down. We're just
answering. No, I'm gonna answering. Just you're answering. So rapid fire. Well, I'll give them to you, and you have until you answer, but don't take too long to answer. So I'm not gonna give you a clock like 3.
We could go back and forth. We could alternate questions. 1 to Pete, 1 to me, 1 to.
We do that. All right, fine. So 1 to Pete, 1 to you. We'll do that. That sounds good. All right. So we'll start with Pete. Ready?
No.
All right, here we go. First question, Pete. Who won the first Super Bowl?
The Green Bay Packers.
There you go. Harry, I got to move these around because. Okay, no. Harry, who was the first team to play a Super Bowl in both conferences?
In the AFC and the NFC?
Mm-hmm.
First team to play him in both conferences.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts.
Very good. Very good. All right. Back to Pete. Super Bowl 1, Green Bay Packers won. You said. Who did they beat?
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
No, I know.
I'll say the New York Giants.
No, that would be incorrect. The correct. You can steal this one, Harry.
Still what?
You can steal this one.
Oh, the first Super Bowl. Who did they beat? Lenny Dawson and the Kansas City Chiefs.
That would be correct.
I almost said that. I should have trusted myself.
There you go. All right, Harry, your second question. What city has hosted the most Super Bowls?
I mean, does Pasadena count as Los Angeles? Or I'm guessing it's got to be either Tampa or LA. I'm gonna go with Los Angeles.
You're gonna go with Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay, you would be wrong.
Okay.
Pete, you can steal this.
I'll say Orlando.
You were closer, but also wrong.
It's Tampa, isn't it?
Nope.
It's Miami?
It's Miami.
Fuck. I was going to say that, but it feels like it's been a long time since there was one there.
Miami has hosted 11 Super Bowls. New Orleans, just as a reference, has hosted 10 Super Bowls. So they're number 2 on the list.
Wow. Really?
Right? Yep. So there you go. All right, back to Pete. What NFL team has the most wins of all time?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'll say
That's
the
a good one.
Packers.
You would be incorrect, sir. Harry, you want to steal this?
NFL team most wins of all time.
Well, I think I know who it is, actually.
And sounds weird, but it's the Dallas Cowboys.
That would be incorrect as well.
Is it the
All right.
is it the Bears?
It would be the Bears. Doesn't count because you already went. But
No, I know. I'm just thinking because they suck right now, but
Yeah.
It would be the Bears. Yes, the Bears. Yeah. The Bears have the most wins of all time. Okay, back to Harry. Who has the second most wins of all time in the NFL?
All time NFL. Was it Pete's previous answer?
No, give it to me.
It's got to be weighted. The Packers.
It would be the Packers. Yes, that's correct. And just so you're aware, the Chicago Bears have won 783 games all time, up to date. The Green Bay Packers have won 782 games to date.
Wow.
So this year we'll definitely switch that around.
So yeah,
the Bears have won 783 games. They won 776 of them before 1987.
Isn't like their head-to-head record almost even or something like that? I think I heard that.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
It's close. Yeah. Okay, where am I? So back to Pete. What do we do?
Harry, if you want to go with my previous answer, the one to go with would have been Orlando.
Orlando, yes. They don't even have a franchise, do they?
No.
Not yet. Shaq was great when he was in Orlando.
Okay. Okay. Pete, who lost Super Bowl III?
I'll say the Colts.
That would be correct.
You're really giving me some softballs here. I appreciate that.
Harry, who lost? A minute. I'm trying to remember if I got you all. Going out of order was the wrong thing to do. That's all right. Harry, who lost Super Bowl 21?
21. What year was that? You can't give me that information, huh?
The year of the Super Bowl or the year of the season?
Super Bowl.
87.
'86 was the Broncos and Giants. 87 was the Bengals.
Well, no.
It was the Broncos?
It was the Broncos. And, I asked you was it the Super Bowl year or the season year? You asked me for the Super Bowl.
I got you.
January 87, so it would be.
Okay.
There you go.
It was the Broncos.
All right. So let me just count these down here. Pete, I asked you for Super Bowl winner, right?
Who cares?
I asked you who they beat. Right? I asked you most NFL wins all time. Okay. Yeah, no, I got another one for you. What state has the most NFL teams?
At this moment or throughout history?
Right now. There you go.
It's a tie, is it not?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'll say New York. Well,
New York and California.
If we are including the teams.
Wait, you're talking about ownership of the teams or where they play?
Well, no, just ownership of the teams.
I'll say New York then.
It's a three-way tie, actually.
It's New York, California, and does Florida have three teams?
Yep. Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami.
Oh yeah, I was forgetting about Tampa.
California is.
I mean,
Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami. I'm forgetting about Tampa.
Yeah. Well, they haven't had much success lately.
Not at all.
Kind of been off the radar.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, California has the 49ers, the Rams, and the Chargers. And, of course, the Giants, the Jets, and the Bills.
Buffalo.
All right, cool. All right, Harry, your last football question. What team has the third most wins of all time?
Third most? The New York Giants.
That would be correct, sir. So, New York Giants have 706 wins. They're 76 wins behind the Packers and 77 wins behind the Bears. So, it'll be a while before they catch up.
Definitely not going to make up ground on the Packers this year.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bears.
Maybe the Bears. So, all right. And now here comes your question, your other question. Here we go. Radio Pete, you first. The evening that WEVD signed off the air, who were the last two drunks left at the station?
I believe that would be myself and John Fladinger.
That would be yes. That would be correct.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I suppose that's a badge to be worn proudly.
I think that's a badge to be worn proud, and this was again the picture from that.
There we are.
Yeah, there we go. It's about 3:00 in the morning.
Who knew from such humble beginnings?
All right.
He looks like a roadie for Madness, and you look like a Taliban recruiting agent.
a roadie for Madness.
That's fair,
right?
Yeah,
probably. All right. Anyway,
taking care of business.
There you go. All right, and Harry's last question.
Oh boy.
Okay, according to the song, the 1988 song, what keeps the motor running?
Oh, a spoonful of lovin'.
There you go. All right. There you go. All right, that is the quiz. Let's add up. Let's tally them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pete has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harry has 5 because of a steal of Pete's. So there you go. He edges Pete out because of the steal.
I want to protest, though. Not that I think I would have gotten it right, but I didn't get a chance to steal one of Harry's questions. The Broncos. The Broncos was the answer.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's because
right.
I kind of answered it.
Well, he did answer.
But I would not have gotten it right anyway. So,
so you just wanted to protest just for the hell of protest.
I want to protest anyway.
Give it 10 minutes, you won't remember.
Nah,
All right. There you go. Fade that down.
That was not bad. That was pretty good.
There we go. All right, cool. There you go. Let's put this volume back up to where we need it. There we go for later on. Okay. So there you go. That was our first attempt at that rapid fire. I like that. We'll have to go. When we do it again, we'll go back and forth like that. I like that. I'll have to set it up like that. I like that. There you go. All right. All right. I think it's time for the top 10 list tonight. What do you think?
Yeah.
All time starting 27 for the Biloxi lacrosse team.
Biloxi lacrosse team, yes. And which one?
Top 10 XFL teams.
Top 10 pickleball players.
There's only 8.
Well, it's all time, so we can.
Yeah.
We can
have to choose 2 out of the 3 that are defunct now.
Right. So let's just leave off the hitman. We're done.
That's right.
All right. So let's do it. Tonight's top 10 list is we're going back to a top. We haven't done this with the Mets and the Yankees. So we wanted to pick a team, just a random team that we didn't do yet, just to wrap up finish up the rest of baseball season before we move on to some football top 10s. Although we've done 2 years of football top 10s now, so it's getting a little harder. But tonight we're going to do top, if you didn't know from my jersey, top Pittsburgh Pirate. Well, okay, let's fix that. 1 second. All right, let's save that now.
The Pirates all-time starting lineup.
Top Pittsburgh Pirates, not just one. Top Pittsburgh Pirates of all time.
But pirate
Well,
is
actually,
plural.
it's right either way, right?
Yeah. Top Pittsburgh Pirate of all
They're
time.
only picking one per
That's
position.
true, I guess you could say. Yeah. Top Pittsburgh Pirates of all time.
Let's get Let's get our semantics expert to research that.
All right, Jimmy.
Jimmy, which one is least correct?
Hey. All right, so let's start it up here.
You don't have? Do you have "We Are Family" to play in the background?
You should actually do that, right? That was their song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the '79 World Series. All right, we're gonna kick it off with our first.
Who was the artist that performed that song?
The We Are Family, Sister Sledge.
Sister Sledge, man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Mm-hmm.
written by Nile Rodgers and performed by 3/4 of Chic.
You may be right. I may be crazy.
All right, fire it up.
All right, fire it up. Here we go. We're going to start off. We're going to kick it off with our first baseman. Our first baseman for the top Pittsburgh Pirates of all time by position is none other than Mr. Willie Stargell. Wilver Dornell Stargell. Nickname Pops. There you go.
That's definitely a Nile Rodgers riff.
Oh, definitely.
Willie Stargell.
So Willie Stargell, Pops Stargell. There you go. Played for the Pirates his entire career from 1962 to 1982. 21 seasons with the same team. If you watched our last week's show, you'll know what we talked about with players staying for 21 seasons.
Yes, we had quite a discussion about
Yeah.
dynasties and teams staying together and players staying with teams.
Exactly. All right. Moving on to number two, just our second baseman. That would be Mr. Bill Mazeroski.
He also used to own a dry cleaner, right, in Pittsburgh.
Bill Mazeroski, yes. William Stanley Mazeroski. He played for the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1956 to 1972. 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion in 1960 and again in 1971. Right. And he's in Cooperstown as well, as is Willie Stargell. I forgot to mention that before. So, all right, moving on to number three. Number three is, how did I say number three? Third base, Pie Traynor. Harold Joseph Traynor, to be exact.
Harold Joseph Caramel.
Harold Joseph
Silk.
Harold Joseph, and in the fall he was Pumpkin Pie Traynor.
That's right.
There you go. So there you go. Played for the Pirates from 1920 to 1935 and again in 1937. And he was the manager for the Pirates from 34 to 39. So he did it all. Pie Traynor. We're going to move on to our shortstop. Any discussion with any of these? You want to jump out there?
No, but I am confirming that Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers did indeed write "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge.
And was it 3/4 of Chic?
Well, 2/4.
So half.
I think the rest. I think what's his name played drums on it too. Tony Thompson. So
there you go. Cool. All right, moving on to shortstop. Shortstop is Mr. Honus Wagner, Johannes Peter Honus Wagner.
He was a system shortstop.
Exactly. Sometimes referred to Hans Wagner, but his nickname was
Honus Pocus.
Honus Pocus. Yeah.
Honus the Goblin.
No, the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm. What you call it? He
played so long ago they had collars on the shirt.
They did. They had collared shirts. You're absolutely right. He played for the Louisville Colonels for 3 years, for 3 seasons before joining the Pirates. But he played for the Pirates from 1900 to 1917, and he was a manager of the Pirates in 1917 as well. And he was a coach with the Pirates from 1933 to 1951. So he was with the Pirates organization for over a half a century.
That's crazy.
His career batting average with the Pirates was .328. His on base percentage was .394. His OPS was 862. Just that's but
Crazy.
But he played against plumbers and carpenters.
This is very true. Very true.
Like
All right.
Bob Cousy.
Right. All right. Moving on to our left fielder. Our left fielder is going to be Mr. Ralph Kiner. Ralph McFerrin Kiner. And his brother Bobby actually, went on to make some really good music in the 80s.
I do think there is a relationship to Kiner Falefa and Ralph Kiner. I really do. I'm serious. I think it's his grandson or something. Yeah.
I think you might be right about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. We'll have to check into that. Don't see anything here, but it could be. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, Ralph Kiner, he played for the Pirates from 1946 to 1953. Then he went to the Cubs for a couple of years and the Indians for a year. So, however, he is in the Mets Hall of Fame as a broadcaster, and his Mets microphone is retired. And his name with his microphone symbol is retired at Citi Field. So there you go. Ralph Kiner. Ralph McFerrin Kiner.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa is the second cousin twice removed of Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner.
There you go. Well, what do you know? You learn something new every day.
How does that whole thing work with being removed? I don't even know what that means.
It means if there's a runner on second and you sacrifice. I don't know. I think twice removed means that
it basically means if you're
two generations away.
It's not because if you're cousins, it's generations away. So like if you're cousins, and then you have kids, and they become that kind of a thing. So it's
okay.
That's second cousins, and then it's second cousins once removed is closer in relation than third cousins are. So, but I'm just guessing. I really don't know. Jimmy, get on that. All right, moving on to our center fielder. Our center fielder is probably the youngest, if you will, player on our all-time Pirates team. And that would be Mr. Andrew McCutchen, Andrew Stefan McCutchen. He was a Pittsburgh Pirate from 2009 through 2017, and he was a San Francisco Giant and the New York Yankee in 2018. And he was on the Phillies for 3 years, 2019 to 2021, and the Brewer this year so far. So there you go. He is not in the Hall of Fame. He's still playing. There you go. So Andrew McCutchen. Anything on him?
He's not related to Ralph Kiner.
He's not related to, or Kiner Falafel.
No, but he's related to Andrew McCarthy.
He is. He's his second cousin once removed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the removed just means a different generation.
That's what we said.
Yeah. So your mother's first cousin is your first cousin once removed, because it's so. So which cousin is he? Second cousin.
Second cousin.
Okay.
Right, second cousin once removed.
So they're second cousins separated by 2 generations.
So what is the second cousin then? Get us this information.
Second cousin are people in your family who have the same great grandparents as you, but not the same grandparents.
Huh.
He is the second cousin twice removed of Ralph.
So he
Kiner.
has the same great grandparents as Ralph Kiner, but not the same grandparents. And he's 2 generations younger.
How is that even possible?
To make it even better, his great grandmother was from Japan. He is Samoan, Japanese, and Caucasian. He is Samoan, Japanese, and Ralph Kiner.
Oh, I get it. So same great grandparents, but not the same grandparents.
Right.
Right. So He's so great grandparents, and then the grandparents were sisters of the other one's grandparents, or a sister or a brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Golly, I got you now. All right. Shall we move on to Shall we move on to our right fielder?
Now that we got the Kiner thing.
Now that we got the Kiner thing sorted out.
Sure.
Our right fielder, as if you didn't guess it, and I'm actually wearing his jersey, number 21.
Dave Parker. Oh.
Mr. Roberto Clemente.
Barry Bonds.
Roberto Enrique Clemente Walker Sr.
That guy was pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. Played for the Pirates from 1955 to 1972. A 15-time All-Star and a 2-time World Series champion. And he is a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Roberto Clemente, our right fielder. All right. Well, any discussion on Mr. Clemente?
Yeah, you heard it all before. No, I mean, I think actually Roberto Clemente is probably one of the most underrated names in baseball. But yeah, he's pretty damn good. You know, Roberto Clemente had a WAR of 94.8, which is just incredible. But to put it in perspective, Honus Wagner 120.1.
120.1.
Yes.
That's
pretty damn good.
That's pretty damn good.
Roberto Clemente and Honus Wagner are exactly tied for the most games played in a Pittsburgh Pirate uniform. 2,433. They both have played in the same amount of games.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
That's amazing, actually.
And yeah, I mean, it's Roberto Clemente had over 9,000 at bats, 9,454 at bats with the Pirates, and has the most hits in the history of the Pirates with a cool 3,000 on the nose.
Cool 3,000 on the nose. Nice. All right. Let's move on to our designated hitter. Not that there ever was a designated hitter back in the day of these guys, but
it's a bonus now.
But it's a bonus one. We're giving you a bonus. So our designated
hitter, it's here and it's here to stay.
Exactly. That we picked. That would be Mr. Paul Wainer. Paul Glee Wainer. Nickname? You know what his nickname was?
Later Wainer.
Paul the Wiener Wainer.
No.
Paulie?
No. No.
Jimmy?
Waney?
Stick?
His nickname was Baby Hands Wainer.
Baby Hands
Wainer. No, his nickname was Big Poison.
Ooh, do you know who? A good one.
Do you know who I thought Pete was going to put on his list just because he's on the Pirates? Was on the Pirates. Mr. Dick Groat.
Yeah, it was a consideration.
Look, I mean, Paul Wainer was unbelievable, and I think his WAR was the third best all time at 70.1. Has the second highest batting average, and really, out of players who played for a long time, the highest batting average of 340 with the Pirates.
Crazy. And overall 333.
Yeah. I mean, his on base plus slugging was 896, and 407 on base percentage. Just and was right up there, number 6 all time in games played, over 2,000 games played, third in at bats, fourth in plate appearances, second in runs scored, and third in hits. So, I mean, it's hard. It's just the fact that, guess what? He played right field. So, he just came in a little bit. This was one of the ones that I kind of struggled with. I mean, I think Roberto Clemente is kind of a historic pick, and he was incredible. Paul Wainer's career matches right up to him. He won an MVP, won batting titles. He's again one of these players who, yes, played a while back, but just some incredible career numbers.
There you go. He was on the Pirates from 1926 to 1940. And he was on the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1941, and went up to the Boston Braves. He was on the Braves for a year and a half, 41 and 42. And was a Brooklyn Dodger for a year and a half, 43 and part of 44. And then he was a New York Yankee for a year and a half, 44 and 45. Funny, one note too, he was born in Harrah in the Oklahoma Territory 4 years before it became a state.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Paul Wainer, our DH on this list. All right. Now we're going to get us to our catcher, and our catcher is Jason Kendall.
Finally, someone who didn't play in the 1900s.
Wow.
Well, Andrew McCutcheon didn't either.
Yeah, I know.
And neither did the other guys. They played in the 20s and 30s,
70s,
50s, 70s.
Yeah.
Jason Kendall.
Jason Daniel Kendall.
The third.
Yeah. Played for the Pirates from 96 to 2004. And played for the A's for a couple of years, the Cubs for a year, the Brewers for a couple of years, and the Royals for a year. Three-time All-Star catcher Jason Kendall, our catcher on this list. There you go. And we got a few pitchers for you too. We're going to start off with pitcher number one. It's none other than Mr. Babe Adams. Charles Benjamin Adams, nicknamed Babe. Technically, no, he was on the St. Louis Cardinals in 1906, but he's on the Pirates from 07, and then again 09 through 16, and then 18 through 26. So pretty much 20 years with a year off here and there. Two-time World Series champion in 09 and in 1925, of course, with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Charles Babe Adams, pitcher number one. Pitcher number two on the list is Wilbur Cooper. Arlie Wilbur Cooper, to be exact. Played for the Pirates from 1912 to 1924. And he played for a couple of years with the Cubs and a year with the Tigers. And he was the National League wins leader, pitching-wise, obviously, in 1921 with, of course, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah. Pitcher number three, Vic Willis.
Lowest career ERA. Vic Willis.
Vic Willis. Yeah, I actually skipped that one, so I want to. There we go, right here. Victor Gazaway Willis.
Sounds like a program in Florida.
Victor Gazaway Willis. I was thinking something else, but we'll leave it at that.
Sounds like something. Yeah, what's her name would be.
Hey, you go to a beach. There's a bunch of beautiful women. Gaze away. You know.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So Victor Gazaway Willis, Vic Willis, played for the Boston Bean Eaters for 7 seasons.
Bean Eaters.
Boston Bean Eaters.
I love it.
Yeah. The Boston Bean Eaters, by the way, were the Atlanta Braves.
Sure.
They were the Boston Bean Eaters, then the Boston Braves.
The Atlanta Legumes.
Yeah.
Well, they were named the Bean Eaters because that was their jobs.
That's right.
Exactly.
They all worked at the bean factory. They were testers.
Exactly.
So they played baseball on the weekends, and they were the Bean Eaters.
And they realized that they were very brave to play baseball after eating beans, so they changed the name to the Braves.
Those Saturday games were, you didn't want to be downwind of the team.
You did not. So they
Superfood.
Bean Eaters, Boston Bean Eaters, then they were the Boston Braves, then the Milwaukee Braves, now the Atlanta Braves. So anyway, he played for it, so technically he played for the Braves for 7 or 8 seasons. Then he played for the Pirates for only 4 rather, 1906 through 1909, and then a year with the Cardinals. But he was the World Series champion with the Pirates in 1909, and so forth and so on. He's a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Victor Gazaway Willis. And that brings us to our
Marjorie Taylor Greene's favorite player.
Exactly. Brings us to our fourth pitcher. Our fourth pitcher is the Candyman.
There you go. Somebody who at least played in color.
John Robert Candelaria. John Candelaria, the Candy Man. He played for the Pirates for 11 seasons, 75 through 85.
Did he go to the Angels?
He went to the Angels for 2 seasons. He had 3 seasons after that. Played for the Mets for a season in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Played for the Yankees 2 years, 88 and 89. Went to the Expos for a little while at the end of 89. Was on the Twins in 1990. Was on the Blue Jays in 1990. Was on the Dodgers in 91 and 92. And then he returned home to the Pirates to finish out his career in 1993.
to play wide receiver for the Steelers.
Well, I didn't say the Pirates. I said he returned back to Pittsburgh.
Was he on that 86 Angels team?
He was on the 86 Angels team. Yes, he was. John Candelaria. So there you go.
Great pitcher.
Great pitcher.
Great mustache.
Oh, yeah. With great mustache comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So anyway, all right, that brings us to our one relief pitcher that's going to be on this list, and that would be Mr. Kent Tecalve. And
World Series champion, old sidearm.
Tiki, as he's known. Or Teak. Teak or Tiki? I think it's Tiki. But anyway, Pittsburgh Pirate from 1974 to 1985. Then he was a Philly for 3 seasons, and then he finished in 1989 for a season with the Reds. World Series champ with the Pirates in 1979. Kent Tecalve, right-handed pitcher tonight. All right, that pretty much does our list. What do you think?
Pretty good team. I mean, most of them died 20, 35 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. But, you know, it just goes to show that there were some pretty damn good Pittsburgh Pirates back in the 30s, 40s, and 70s.
30s, 40s, and 70s, and aughts and teens and 20s too.
Yeah, you know, there's a couple guys I think that we're close. I mean, Tony Pena is a guy who comes to mind, which his defensive, he was a much better defensive player than Jason Kendall, but Jason Kendall was one of the rare catchers in the history of baseball, really, that could hit for average the way that he did. You think about that 70s team, you think about guys like Dave Parker. You know, they had some really good players, and you know, you look at their leaders in batting and their leaders in pitching, and most of them were from those really early years of Major League Baseball. This has been a franchise that has not been able to have players play for a long time, and they obviously have not invested in keeping players in a long time. I think, I could be wrong with this, but I think the last time they've been to the playoffs was that 79 World Series team.
I'm actually just checking that right now. I just want to see.
Yeah, they're kind of, I mean, in the franchise that has obviously a proud history, and these are some of the all-time great names in baseball, but they're also certainly at this point the epitome of some of the stuff that's wrong with baseball, which is not really trying to put a winning product on the field, and taking that revenue sharing money and sticking it in your pocket or your bank account instead of reinvesting it into the team. So it's a shame.
No, they've been to playoffs 6 times since '79.
Okay,
really?
1990, 1991, and 1992. They won the National League East.
Okay, so they haven't been either to the National League Championship Series or the World Series.
Oh no! They haven't won a pennant, They haven't won a pennant or the World Series.
Maybe it's they haven't. Have they won any of those playoff series? Maybe it was they haven't won a playoff series.
Let's find out. Wild card berths too in 2013, 2014, and 2015. So, whatchamacallit, the Pirates finished first in National League. They were defeated in 4. Okay.
Yep. So they lost. I think it's they haven't won a playoff series. They may have won a wild card game, but they haven't won a playoff series since that World Series.
Let's find out. The 1990 Pirates, they lost in. Yeah, I'm just looking at this here. Yeah, they lost. They lost in the divisional round. They were defeated 4 games to 2. Oh no. They won. They won in the. Wait, were they doing divisional games then, or was it just right to the?
It doesn't matter. They've sucked for a long time.
Yeah. No, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, they were doing. They weren't. So yeah, they lost in the championship series. They lost in 1990. In 1991, they lost to the Braves. 1992, again, they lost to the Braves. 2013, they lost their. Did they lose the wild card game? I believe they lost the wild card game.
Mm-hmm.
And 2014, same thing. I believe I can't see it on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't. You're right. They haven't won a playoff game really.
They haven't won a series.
Series. So, but they have been. They have been to play. They have been to the playoffs. So there you
go. I like if you. It's the champs or chumps.us, and for the 2022 season, it shows a 40-58 record, and then under result it says pending.
Pending.
So yeah, lost wild card games, lost divisional series in 2013, and some championship series in the 90s. Yeah,
and they lost the divisional series in 2013, so they won a wild card game, but they haven't won a series.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
there you go.
A decent history of suckage.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
modern day Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm. Pretty modern day Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, I mean, they did win 3 divisions in a row in 90, 91, 92.
I mean, that 79 team was kind of fun.
That's also 30 years ago.
Yeah, that 79 team was really fun because they kind of came out of nowhere a little bit.
Yeah.
Willie Stargell seemed like he was 58. It's just it was fun. I mean, he had a hell of they really pounded the ball in the playoffs that year.
Mm-hmm.
They were a good team, and I just remember Kent Colby. He didn't dominate the World Series, but leading up to the World Series in the pennant, he was pretty damn dominant.
Mm-hmm. You're right. He definitely was. All right. Cool. Well, there you go. That should bring us to this week's Old Balls. Harry, why don't you tell us who this week's Old Balls is?
This week's Old Balls is none other than Mr. Archie Vaughn. I mean, he would definitely be on this list if it wasn't for the fact that he played shortstop, and so did Honus Wagner.
Right.
Archie Vaughn is 4th all-time in the Pirates in WAR. They're 4th all-time in offensive WAR. He's 8th all-time in defensive WAR. 7th all-time in batting average with a career average of .324 with the Pirates. And he's, top 5 in on base percentage and top 10 in just about every category, from runs scored to hits, triples, doubles, total bases, RBIs, walks. The list goes on. If you look at the history of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Archie Vaughn was a big part of that. And he played a little bit of third base, but mostly a shortstop. And he played for the Pirates from 1932 to 1941. And then went on to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers for a couple of years. But a hell of a player, not tremendous power, but, just a great hitter, became a very good shortstop, actually started his career very young. In 1932, he was the youngest player in baseball. Was a little shaky, had a number of errors that year, but his defensive ability became much, much, much better. In fact, he was one of the best defensive shortstops of all time. And, it's pretty incredible that the amount of position players the Pirates had at that time. And I'm guessing, I'm trying to think if he had any, no, I mean, there was a good almost 20 years between him and Honus Wagner, but yeah, big shoes to fill. But if it wasn't for Wagner, I think he would definitely be on our starting team. And if we were just doing a top 10 Pirates of all time, I think he would certainly be on that list. Mm-hmm. So Archie Vaughn, the unknown, the underappreciated Mr. Pirate, Archie Vaughn is this week's recipient of the rather old balls.
Old balls.
There you go. All right. On that note, I actually want to go back. We're jumping around tonight. I go back. I had a couple of football things I want to talk about.
Oh.
All right. And then we'll do. Then we can get to our tonight's over under.
Oh, there's an over under.
There's an over under. All right. So just a couple of things really quick. All right. Russell Wilson changed teams, right?
Yeah.
Russell
Again?
Wilson.
Again?
Yeah. He's playing for the Houston Argonauts.
What is he, James Harden?
Exactly.
That
No,
guy can't sit still.
Russell Wilson changed teams. He's obviously on the Denver Broncos this year.
Mhm.
Broncos have a week 1 game against the Seahawks, because you knew damn well the NFL had to do that, right? And then they also have a week 6 game against the Chargers. Those are the only 2 teams that Russell Wilson has not beaten as a quarterback. All right. If Russell Wilson can beat the Seahawks on the first week, on week 1, September 12th, and beat the Chargers on October 17th in week 6, he will become the 5th player all time to beat every team as a quarterback.
I would argue that there was one game last year where he threw, I think, 3 interceptions, so he kind of beat the Seahawks.
This is true. Good thing. But my question to you is, who are the other 4 quarterbacks that have beaten every
Quarterbacks,
team?
okay, just quarterbacks who have
Just
beaten
quarterback.
every team.
Russell Wilson will become the 5th quarterback to beat every team if he wins those 2 games this year. Who are the other 4 that already?
Is this a modern NFL, or are we going back in time?
Well, every team that exists today. So obviously it has to be modern. So,
Okay,
like a quarterback in the 50s couldn't have beaten the Houston Texans.
Right, but he could have beaten every team that existed at that point.
No, every team that's current team in the NFL
Right.
today could be.
So this obviously has to be a quarterback that was traded at some point. Yeah,
Maybe.
so it rules out Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's 1.
How many are there?
4.
So 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
So are these currently playing, or just have at some
They've
point?
beaten every current team.
Mm-hmm. They've beaten all 32 teams that are currently in the NFL.
Okay.
They have beaten as quarterbacks. So Tom Brady's 1. There's 3 others.
But they're not necessarily still playing.
Not necessarily. Correct.
That leaves him out.
Fire him off when you can.
Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning is 2.
That was going to be okay.
Yes, to steal.
Mm-hmm.
So how many more? 2 more?
Another 2.
I mean, you would think Ryan Fitzpatrick would have to be on.
That was the first thought that came to my mind. It's gotta be Fitzmagic.
It's not.
I know. That wasn't my pick.
How about Drew Brees?
Drew Brees is 3. Very good, Pete.
Wait, how did Drew Brees beat the New Orleans Saints?
Drew Brees was the quarterback for the Chargers before Philip Rivers got drafted.
Oh, wow.
When the Giants drafted Philip Rivers and traded him to the Chargers, the following year, the Chargers traded Drew Brees.
I forgot about that. Or maybe I just didn't know that.
To the Saints, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then is Philip Rivers the other one?
No. He is not. He's not. There's 1 more.
Who's beaten every current team?
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about
Philip Rivers, Brady.
Not Philip Rivers.
I mean, not Philip Rivers. Drew Brees, Brady, Manning,
Peyton Manning. 1 more.
and
how about Matt Ryan.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm. Not yet. One more. Only one more. One more remains. Would you like a hint?
Yeah, two of the guys that are coming to mind, just they weren't around when a couple of these teams were here.
Would you like a hint?
Yeah.
The hint is it would be the oldest quarterback of the group.
Okay, so somebody who's retired.
Well, if he's older than Brady and he, yeah. Who could it be? Who could it be? If you don't get it, and after that one, I'll give you one more hint.
How many teams did he play for?
That was my other hint. 4.
4. Okay.
Who could it be?
Can't be anybody too old because we've had some teams added since. So
the newest team is the Texans, and they were in the league in 2002. They've been in the league for 20 years now.
Yeah, so I mean, you know.
How about Kurt Warner?
Nope. Just as a side note, Kurt Warner played for 3 teams.
4 teams. All right, give us one of the teams he played for.
Oh, geez. I could, but it'll give it away.
Okay, you're gonna give us one of the most. Yeah. Boy, this is a tough one.
4 teams. Oldest quarterback on the list.
Retired.
Clearly. He's older than Brady, and Brady's the oldest quarterback ever. And he's retired.
Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Boomer Esiason.
Negative.
It's younger than Boomer then.
Boomer played for 3 teams.
Yeah, I thought he played for 4.
Bengals, Jets, and Cardinals.
Not Warner, not
Warner
Troy
played.
Aikman?
Nope.
No, he only played for
He
1.
played for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Warner played for Warner played for the Rams, the Giants, and the Cardinals too. One more. Come on. You're both gonna kick yourself in the ass when I tell you.
So it's a big name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Done guessing?
Recent retirement? Fairly recent?
No.
4 teams. See, I'm thinking of guys, but I don't think they played. Where did Favre go after it was the Jets, the Vikings, but he didn't play for 4 teams. Packers. But yeah. Did right? Was he around? Yeah. He only played for 3 teams though, right, Brett Favre?
Brett Favre?
Yeah.
No.
So Brett Favre's not the answer. Okay.
No. Brett Favre only played for 3 teams.
No, he did play for 4 teams. So it's Brett Favre.
It's Brett Favre.
Okay.
All right.
Who was the 4th team that he played for?
He was drafted by the Falcons.
Oh, the Falcons. That's right.
But did he play for them?
Okay. And they get traded to Green Bay in year 2. And then obviously the Jets and the Vikings. But no, 4 teams, Mr.
All right.
Brett.
I thought Favre was drafted by the Packers.
No, Favre was drafted by the Falcons. Drafted by the Falcons in 91. And got traded to the Packers in '92.
It's a hell of a group. Favre,
Breeze, Manning, Brady, and obviously if Russell Wilson can win those 2 games, he joins them.
Well, him and Brady would be the only 2 people that. Well, no, Manning only played for 2 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Breeze only played for 2 teams.
Breeze only played for 2 teams.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive to do it for only 2 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Favre really only did it with. He played in Atlanta, or just he was on the team.
He played. I don't know how many games he played, but he was drafted in '91 and played in Atlanta. So,
but okay.
Yeah. But either way, he was on 4 teams.
Nice.
That. So, yes, but I'm sure he didn't win very much, if at all, in Atlanta. Otherwise, I don't think they would have, traded him. So,
well, you never know. To make it on this list, maybe there was 2 or 3 teams in the NFC, West that he beat that he didn't beat. I don't know. I think he beat everybody in Green Bay at one point.
Yeah, this is true.
But maybe there was an AFC team or something that he beat with Atlanta.
No, I'm sure he probably beat, with his career in Green Bay, he probably beat every team in the NFL except for Green Bay. And then when he was on the Vikings, he beat Green Bay.
In that second Super Bowl against the Broncos, he beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
All right, good question. That was a tough one.
There you go. All right, cool. My third hint was going to be he was in a movie with Cameron Diaz and Ben Stiller.
Something about Mary.
That would be correct.
He was in that movie?
Yeah.
He was the kid that got his twigs and berries.
No. He used to date Mary at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. I just want to throw this out there too. Another quiz. I'm just going to run it down. There's one NFL stadium that has changed its name 9 times. It's not a quiz. I'm just going to go through it. It's the Dolphins. They were Joe Robbie Stadium, Pro Player Park, Pro Player Stadium, Dolphins Stadium, Dolphin Stadium, Landshark Stadium, Sun Life Stadium, New Miami Stadium, and Hard Rock Stadium.
That's still the same stadium as Joe Robbie?
There's an NFL stadium that has changed its name 9 times. This was reported by CBS Sports. I'm assuming that, yes, it's the same stadium. I'm sure they did.
That's got to be the oldest stadium in the NFL then.
Probably. Maybe. I'm pretty sure Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati is
Soldier Field.
Soldier Fields.
Lambeau Field.
Lambeau Field's the oldest.
Yeah.
Lambeau Field's. But they've all had, I've been to Lambeau Field. There's a lot of new stuff on Lambeau Field, but the building itself is old. And all the seats in Lambeau Field are bleachers?
The Dolphins are 87. Joe Robbie Stadium was only built in 87.
There you go. So 9 times since 87. 9 times in the last 35 years. It's changed its name.
Seems like it's been around longer than that.
Yeah. Crazy. Oh, yeah. All right. And I have this other one thing to show you really quick. I want to show you the top. I forgot to. It got really hot the other day in California. Like really hot, like scary hot. I'm going to show you the graphic here. Okay. KCRA weather.
1,000 degrees. It's pretty hot in Stockton.
It was 1,000 degrees in Stockton, California.
It's a hell of a temperature drop.
Right. Oh, yeah. Then it dropped all the way down to 58 at night.
Yeah. 58 never.
It got so hot that Lodi, New Jersey became part of California.
Yes, it's Lodi, New Jersey. The heat attracted it and just pulled New Jersey all the way over to the West Coast.
That's right.
Exactly. 1,000 degrees in Stockton, California the other day. There you go. So, all right. Radio Pete, what is our over-under?
Our over-under today. So Harry likes containers that have things in them.
He does. I've heard that.
Good at guessing that. So I pulled this off the shelf. I will show it to you. It does not have any see-throughness. This is a box. I don't know where it came from. But it's got a pretty pattern on it with some flowers and such.
Do you
And
keep your
it's-
barrettes in there?
There are some shells in here.
Shells. Okay.
Shells.
What's the average
Seashells.
size of the seashell?
Well, I tell you what I will do. I will show you the smallest. Where's the damn coin?
You can just hold it up. We'll get a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but you won't get a good scale. All right, here. I'll hold it up next to this Ricola.
Okay. That's
So
the
that's-
smallest one.
That's
That's
the
the
smallest one.
What's the largest one?
And this
It'd be funny if you held up the same one. This is the largest one.
is the largest one.
Oh,
Okay.
Slightly bigger than a Ricola. Okay.
And it's considerably bigger than a Ricola.
Mm-hmm.
So
Funny if a snail was trying to get out of the. Was he holding it up?
the snail, that was dinner. So let me shake this around a little bit.
All righty. What's the magic number?
So the magic number is 11.5. Over or under? I'll turn it over one more time.
I'm going over.
Going over 11.5. I want to keep it in. John?
Well, you know what? I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to not go under because I mean we either both win or we both lose if we go the same, right?
Well,
So
but you should go with what you think is correct. right?
I was gonna say over.
It's not
but
not about winning, John. It's about
Uh,
accuracy.
said accuracy. Oh, I got you.
Unless
All
you're
right.
keeping a tally.
No, not really. Yeah.
I
I'm
think
gonna go.
pretty-
I'm going under.
He's gonna go under. All right.
I'm going under.
So I'll tell you what I'll do.
You're not going to count everyone, are you?
Well, maybe I will.
Hold it like that and take. Yeah.
All right, we'll do it like this. The hardest
Yeah.
one, actually, here's what I'll do. I'll do this.
We trust you.
I know you do, but
Ooh, it's going to be under.
it is under. The total is
Sneaky.
9. So here, 8, 7, 6, 5. I won't stay on the keyboard. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oop,
There you go.
there we go.
There you go.
Wait, did I miscount?
Probably, but it was still under.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, it's 9.
That's
Yeah,
that.
so it is actually 9. So there
All
we
right.
go.
There you go.
So good job, John, playing the odds. Maybe I'll just
Oh,
put different things in this box every week.
use the box O over under. Box
Pete's-
O over under. Pete's box. Pete's box O over under.
How many things does Pete have in his box? Which is
I think you
That-
should do it while sitting in a box.
well, if we buy a new refrigerator, then I could do that.
We are currently staring at your keyboard.
Yeah, I know.
You got a lot of
Hey.
stickers on there.
Yeah, that's because I'm cool.
Here's the what the hell's that? Here's the banner that we will show. Pete's box O over under.
Ooh, nah, very
Yeah.
nice.
Box O over under.
Playing homage to our
Pete box over
Irish
under.
our Irish heritage.
Exactly. There you go. All right, cool. Anything else we want to laugh about and talk about tonight?
Nah,
Uh,
I don't like laughing.
let me just pose a very speculative question to you guys right now.
Go for it. Go for it.
Because I heard some people talking about this. And we still have a long ways to go in the season. More likely to win the American League MVP,
Okay.
Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani?
Can I have a clause in my? Fine.
What kind of clause? I can
Yeah.
pick both.
If Aaron Judge breaks Maris's Yankees home run record, then Aaron Judge. If he doesn't, then Shohei Ohtani.
It's interesting you said that because maybe we were listening to the same radio station, because the guys that we're talking about on the radio said if he gets to 60, how do you not give him, even if he doesn't break it, if he gets to 59 or 60, how do you not give him the MVP? And of course, it's just a regular season award, so forget about what happens in the postseason. Obviously, the Angels are not going to be in the postseason. Mm-hmm. And then there was the whole argument of, well, the Yankees if the Yankees are 10 games ahead of, let's say, Toronto at the end of the regular season, well, they could have won the division anyway, even without Aaron Judge, or, they could have gone to the playoffs. And the argument, of course, well, the Angels would have been out of it anyway without Ohtani, but it just would have happened a lot sooner or whatever. But so I just thought I would pose that question. What do you so if he hits 60 or breaks Maris, or how about ties it?
Yeah, you know what? 60 plus. If he hits 60, ties Maris at 61, goes 62 or more, then I think he does. If he cools off and he winds up with 53, 54, still a great season, but I think for what Ohtani has been doing this season, he still might have the edge there. That's my take. Harry?
Well, look, I understand the pitching side of it, but Judge is hitting 40 points higher than Ohtani. He's got 17 more home runs. He has 30 more RBIs.
Yeah, but see I see where you're going. But what I was saying is, like, if he cools off, now if they both cool off, then it's still Judge, right? But if Judge cools off and Ohtani keeps going, that 17 home run difference might only be like 6 or 8.
No, I think that's gonna. Yeah,
that 40 point or 30 point, 40, whatever it was, differential in batting average could be 10 or 15.
Also consider looking at it that way, and I agree with what you're saying, Harry, as far as the hitting stats, but there's a huge differential in the pitching stats. Now, it's not fair because Aaron Judge isn't a pitcher, right. But when you look at Ohtani's accomplishments, they're still impressive. He's not having the best season he's ever had as a hitter.
No.
But he's also, is going to win X number of games and strike out X number of guys and that sort of thing. It's to me, it's actually kind of, again, it's far off in the future. They could both get hurt and maybe somebody else gets it or whatever, but it's an interesting discussion or whatever, because you have that. Well, obviously, barring collapse, the Yankees are going to the playoffs and the Angels are not. And like I said, the Yankees could have done that without Aaron Judge, and the Angels could have been mediocre or worse without Shohei Ohtani. But will it come down to that individual performance, or will it come down to truly what did each of these players mean to their team? That that the very essence of the MVP. It'd be interesting to watch. I'm hoping they both continue to be who they are. And what Judge is doing is incredible. But it's fun to watch.
You also have people like Rafael Devers, who I know is hurt right now, and Boston's sort of in a slide. But he's having a hell of a year. He's putting up way better offensive numbers than certainly Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani he's 9-5. His ERA is very impressive. And, wins don't always necessarily mean anything.
Right.
93 innings pitched, only 29 earned runs. I would say I'd rather say, okay, is Ohtani going to be in the running for Cy Young in the American League? I don't know. Maybe he could go on a streak. Verlander might. Maybe. There's other players that I think are doing just as well as him. I just don't think his offensive numbers. I get the appeal of Shohei Ohtani. I don't think he's that big of a difference maker on the Angels. I really don't. And with the way, and I wouldn't say this about Judge in years past, but Aaron Judge, with the exception of tonight against Max Scherzer, which is the problem I have with the Yankees, it's a whole other story, is that they can't hit against good pitching. If you leave anything within hitting range, Aaron Judge is killing it this year.
Yeah.
I think if Judge manages to hit over 300 and hits more than 50 home runs and has 120 RBIs, then no, it should be Judge. Unless Ohtani just goes on some sort of tear and, winds up pitching 2 no-hitters and hitting, and raising his batting average 50 points. I just don't. I think, and I also think that it's harder to be a top performer on a good team than it is on a bad team. So many times you've seen guys who don't have the pressure of winning at the end of a season. They don't. Oh, there's very few players who come to a championship team and perform better than they did on the cellar dweller that they were on previously. And those are the guys who are the best players in baseball, like the Justin Verlanders and the Max Scherzers, and the list goes on. I think it's too early to tell. They're both incredible players.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Judge has just been so consistent so far. If he keeps up this consistency, it's really going to be hard to not give it to him.
Yeah, and also, Ohtani, I don't know exactly where he ranks amongst, American League hit. Obviously, Judge is one of, if not the best hitters, certainly in the AL, right?
Right.
Ohtani is, I don't know where he would rank, depends on, but he's, not in the top 10 hitters in the AL, and he's probably not in the top 10.
He's not even in the top 50 in baseball in batting average.
That's what I mean. Like, he's not up there near the top or close enough to the top in either hitting or pitching.
Yeah, he's 77th in hitting.
Yeah. So it's kind of that combination of what he does that makes him phenomenal. But he's
he's a once in a lifetime player, and you could say all you want about Babe Ruth. Shohei Ohtani is going to go down as the most dominant two-way play. It's really a two-person race for the two. Right. The guy Ohtani's. It looks like he's gonna. He's not going to change either, like Ruth did, to just being a position player or just being a pitcher.
Right. When you look at what everything he does for that team, although they're not good, you could say, well, he definitely has the most value to them. But I think Judge's numbers, if they continue the way they are, or even close to the way they are, will just be too good for anybody to put anything else ahead of him. I think.
Here's what I will say about Ohtani is that I kind of hope that either for him and Trout's sake, that the Angels can compete, or I do kind of would like to see Ohtani on a contender. Here's why. He kind of at the plate, he reminds me of Hideki Matsui. He reminds me of Hideki Matsui in that I think if you gave him those pressure situations, I think he would excel. And then, oh, by the way, you bring him in as your fourth starter, your third starter.
Right.
It would be really interesting to see him in a playoff series. It would be interesting to see what he could do in a playoff run, because that's when I think he then becomes a complete game changer. But as far as MVP voting right now, he's certainly up there. And a lot of people have him as number one right now. But I just think, if he was hitting 283 and had 10 more homers, then I'd say it's done. No, but Judge is just so far ahead of him on the offensive side.
Yeah.
That
I agree. It's hard, and you know how much I love Ohtani, but it's hard. It's hard to say it. He deserves it more than Judge.
Well, wouldn't it be? I was going to say, wouldn't it be amazing one year? Well, not amazing, just wild one year if Ohtani goes on a tear on both sides of the ball and wins a batting title and a Cy Young.
Yeah,
Could happen.
Jeez.
I mean, there are some rumblings. I mean, these are all sort of nonsense because anybody can create a rumor in the news, but there are some rumblings of Ohtani potentially being traded this, so who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows where he would go?
There's been speculation of one team it would go to.
Yeah. Was that the Mets?
The team that the GM was the GM that got him to the Angels.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But
that would be the Mets.
Everybody's the Mets. Everybody's speculating that everybody. If all the rumors are true, then the Mets are going to have 7 new pitchers: Shohei Ohtani and
Aaron Judge,
and
Juan Soto,
and Juan Soto,
yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll get Aaron Judge next year.
And the ghost of Archie Vaughn. Yeah. Jeter's going to come back and pledge his allegiance to the Queens. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I could see Ohtani in New York. I could also sort of see him on the Dodgers.
Fair enough. I do I could see him staying in. I could see him staying in. But I mean, seriously though, I mean, yeah, it's speculation that the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would work there, but I don't know. I know
the real question too with Ohtani is that we haven't really seen him do this. There was the COVID season and blah 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 blah, and wasn't he hurt? How long can he do this for? How long can he
bat and pitch?
Yeah. Because how old is Ohtani? He's like 24, right?
I know.
Yeah, he's pretty young.
Yeah. So at some point, if somebody is to sign him to a 10-year contract or a 12-year contract, what are you going to get? Are you then going to 5 years from now have a fairly good pitcher? Or
he's 28 years old.
He's 28. Okay.
28.
So even more concerning. It's like I don't know how much longer he can do that without. I think playing the field every day could potentially, as his body changes and as he gets a little older, could potentially impact his pitching. I don't necessarily see it the other way. Yeah, that's true. But that's what I'm saying is that, if that's the case, then, well, even if he's DHing, he's hitting and, he's doing things that are using his arms and his, So, but does he become a guy who's pitching in the rotation, but plays the third day and not the, I mean, does he become less of an everyday player?
My guess would be as he moves further into his career that he would, because they've been DHing him almost every game, but they got to give him off occasionally. You got to give the game off, right? So you give him the game off immediately after he pitches.
Or right before he pitches.
Or right before.
Yeah.
Well, I would more so give him the day off after than the day before. Because what's he going to do? Swing the bat, a dozen times, as opposed to swinging the bat a dozen times after pitching 100 pitches. So the day after would be more likely for me to give him off. But either way, if he gets 2 days off, then okay. So he bats for 3 days, has a day before and a day after off.
And if he sort of becomes a journeyman as he gets,
and that's while he pitches
older,
too.
Yeah, that's like if he becomes a decent hitter or continues to be a decent hitter and a pretty good pitcher, right? Not as good as he is now, but still becomes a two-way player. You take that too.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a star two-way player.
Yeah.
No.
You'd be happy to have him around if he was pretty good on both sides of the ball there.
Well, that's kind of my question is, I think
how
at
long
some
can he
point
do
he's going to
that?
be better. I think his longevity of being a good hitter is going to last longer than him being able to hit and pitch.
Yeah,
at the top of his game.
would imagine he'll give up pitching at least a few years.
But he's a leadoff hitter for the Angels. That's an important spot. he gets on base. He walks a lot. He's valuable at that spot, which, obviously he has good power. He's fascinating. And I hope he can do it for a long time. Not that 28 is old by any means. And I think he just turned 28.
Just turned 28 the beginning of July.
Yeah. So
well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anything else?
How are the Angels not better than they are? They don't have a bad lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they need to bring back John Candelaria.
There you go. It's a possibility. Probably should.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way: he's going to get votes for the MVP. He's very well liked by the media and the press, which votes on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We got a lot of season to go.
We got
a lot of stuff could happen in between. It's just
there's a lot more.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about now.
When he's pitching and when him and Juan Soto and Justin Verlander are all playing on the Mets in the World Series this year, then we'll really gauge to see how good he is.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He's also going to be the personal trainer and night nurse of Noah Syndergaard, so he'll be able to. Syndergaard will come with him. They'll also keep. He'll also be the official pitch tracker of DeGrom.
Yeah.
And he's gonna sell hot dogs on his days off too.
Yeah,
sell hot dogs at the
not even during the game when he's not throwing a pitch.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah,
that'll be
Hey.
the Babe Ruth connection.
Yeah. No, not eat.
Babe
So if he
Ruth
makes
was
the
buying
last-
hot
if he
dogs for
makes
the
the last out-
prostitutes that were in the dugout.
He
makes the last out.
buy the hot dogs.
Then the next inning he goes in and
That's right.
sells some hot dogs.
Exactly.
All right.
Does it all. So, all right. Cool. All right, folks. Well, that wraps up the fun show for this evening. We will see you next week. We'll wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all the shows are available on YouTube as well on the Log Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.